So I recently became a dad about 3 weeks ago now. And so we welcomed our beautiful daughter into the world about 3 weeks ago. And it's been crazy, the biggest blessing in the world. This video I'm going to make is on the topic of basically how to grow your business when you're super busy, when you have kids, for example, or let's say if you have a 9 to 5, you're trying to actually build your business on the side and make that reality. Obviously, both situations, or if you have both, time is going to be a huge constraint. It's going to be a huge bottleneck, basically. So obviously I don't have all the experience as like a dad. Yeah, I've only been a dad for 3 weeks, but this will apply in terms of your constraint is time. Like you don't have much time, and how do you actually make it work when you don't have much time? So I'm gonna give you 3 things that I've used to help me make, at this time this recording, a little bit over $3 million online with my coaching businesses. So this will help you out. So let's dive in. So first one, this one's huge. This one's probably the most important because you will fail if you don't do this. If you don't have this, like you are destined to fail. I can promise you that. The first one is it is going to be hard, and you must accept that and you must embrace it. You must choose the right path of hard. All right, let me explain. So, especially nowadays, our society has become so soft, I believe. It's so victim mindset, so victim mentality. It's plagued our society, I believe. I've seen it everywhere. People online making all these videos of, oh, I have it harder. I have this situation. No, I have 3 kids. I have to work a job and do this and this. It's like, okay, cool. Like you probably do have it hard. It probably does suck at a lot of times. Like it's probably awful some days. It's probably really, really hard. But who cares? Like that's a thing people don't think about. They're like, oh yeah, I want all these sympathy likes and comments on social media. But at the end of the day, like it does nothing for you to complain and cry and think of yourself of the victim and you have it so hard. And so that's your excuse. Excuses have zero ROI, zero return on investment. They give you nothing. All they do is they actually, soothe your cognitive dissonance. And they actually make you take less action because you think, oh, it's okay. I have this excuse. That's why I'm not successful. That's why my business isn't growing. It's just a lie you tell yourself. It's just the story, the narrative you tell yourself. And so if you want to change the outcome, you need to change the story you tell yourself. Here's a story you should tell yourself. Hey, it's going to be hard. I have a kid. I got 2 kids. I got 3 kids. I got to work this job while I'm trying to grow this business. So it's going to be extremely hard. All right, I'm going to have to give up things. I'm going to have to give up scrolling on social media. I might have to give up the Netflix shows. I might have to give up, something else that I enjoy. All right, but you got to give it up if you want the outcome. All right, the quote I love that I repeat so many times to, my private clients that we work with is you're either going to sacrifice something to get your goals, or you're going to sacrifice your goals for something else. All right, something must be sacrificed at the end of the day. And so you're going to choose that. All right, is the end outcome more important to you of having, the financial freedom, being able to provide for your family, have the time freedom so you can do whatever you want, spend time with your family, travel, do whatever you want again? Or is watching Netflix more important to you? Is scrolling on social media more important to you? Is the stupid stuff that you do more important to you? If it is, then okay, accept it. Just accept the reality that you will never be successful. Accept it. All right, so this is the biggest point overall. It's the first thing, but we're going to get tactical after this, by the way, but you cannot be lazy. You cannot have this victim mindset or you will lose. You must accept, it is hard and no one cares because you either choose to win or you choose to lose at the end of the day. And so you have to, regardless of how hard it is, make it happen. And I'm going to show you how to do that in these next 2 points, all right, given that you have limited time. So let's dive in. So number 2, this one's going to be very tactical for you. My arm's getting tired holding up this 1-pound iPod. I don't know. I've been carrying a baby, all right? So my arms get tired. I don't know. It's like a workout, even though I work out all the time. Anyways, besides the point. Number 2 is you need to be constraint focused in the business. All right, constraint focused in the business. So what is a constraint? A constraint is the limiting factor in a system that basically restricts flow the most. And so let's think of, a client acquisition system, for example. All right, like a funnel of acquiring clients. So let's say you have an opt-in page, or you have an ad, you have an opt-in page, you got a VSL, and then you have a sales call, for example. And let's say there's a huge constraint in when people click on your ad, they reach the opt-in page, like only 2% of people opt in. That's a massive constraint. So if you fix that one thing, like literally, you could easily double, triple, quadruple, 5x that, or even more 10x that. And that will dramatically change the results of your funnel. All right, you could have everything else dialed in, every other part of the funnel, every other part of the system dialed in, but that one constraint is stopping you from being profitable here. All right, that is constraint focus. So what you have to do, you have to do this on a weekly basis. This is a practice I do, and we teach to our clients as well, is every single week we do a constraint audit. Basically, we look at everything going on in your business and we identify, hey, what's the constraint first of all? What's the one major thing that's restricting flow in the system the most? All right, so we're going to look at things like appointment booking rate, like show rate, like close rate, for example. And so let's say, here's an example. All right, let's say your close rate's 30%. All right, your appointment booking rate is 5%. All right, you probably don't know, the metrics and what they mean, but your show rate, let's say, for example, this is 30%. That means only 30% of people that book a call actually show up to the call. Major constraint. And so what we can do, if we want to double your business, all we have to do is double that show rate. We go from 30 to 60%. That doubles the business doing nothing else. And so you identify the constraint first of all. Hey, what's the biggest thing restricting flow in the business? And then you just put all of your time and energy into fixing that one thing, because that's the highest ROI thing you can do. It's the easiest thing to, boom, get a double or potentially get a triple in the business. All right. And so that's what we're always looking for is, hey, what is that one thing? What is the one thing I can work on and ignore everything else and get that massive jump in the business? That is constraint focused. And better yet, there's also scenarios where you can implement solutions that are super low time investment as well. Our example here, let's say that opt-in page again, that example right there, we have a low conversion rate of people actually opting in to your thing once they hit your landing page. One of the easiest fixes you can implement is just a different headline. I can't tell you how many times just changing the headline will dramatically change your opt-in rate. And so that's like the first thing we would implement there. So that literally takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes of brainstorming different headlines and stuff, looking at what's worked before. Implement that in 10 minutes, boom, and that could fix it. That could instantly double, triple, 5x the conversion rate, just changing the headline. So we're also looking at it from that perspective as well. Hey, once we identify, hey, here's the constraint, then we look at a list of solutions. All right, what is a solution that's extremely easy to implement that can have major, bang for buck? That's what we do. That's how we become just so powerful. All right, you gotta realize as well, time is a great resource, but it's what you do with the time. You can have 10 hours a week and you can make major progress in your business as opposed to someone who has 100 hours a week, but they're making no progress. All right, for when I started my first, online fitness coaching business, for 16 months, I made $0, whopping $0. And I was working probably, I would say 8 to 10 hours a day. All right, I would go to the community college study room, my business partner, and we would show up sun up to sun down. We would be there working on something. Obviously, we weren't doing these things. We weren't doing constraint focused things. We were just doing random stuff that we were this sounds cool. This might help. And obviously, nothing happened. We weren't making any profit because we weren't doing this correctly. We had tons of time investment, but it didn't matter because we were working on the wrong things. This is one of the most common mistakes I see from newer coaches, newer business owners that don't progress, that don't make progress. It's just they're working on the wrong things. And so you fix this and you're making dramatic improvement in your business. Even if you have limited time, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours a day, you can make major progress. All right, so that's number 2, constraint focused activities. Number 3. So obviously, myself here, for example, obviously had a baby, or my wife had the baby. I didn't have the baby myself. My wife had the baby about 3 weeks ago now. And so obviously I took some time off to spend with my wife and my baby, taking care of her, taking care of the baby as much as possible. Obviously she has a hard job. I'm just kind of supporting, doing what I can here. And so during this time, I took about good 2 weeks off, 2.5 weeks off or so. And our business here still made quite a bit of money. Still closed a lot of deals here. Still is growing overall during this time. How is this possible? If I'm really not doing much at all, if anything, very minimal involvement, how is this possible? This is possible due to team and systems. Or this is more of a long-term thing. So if you're just starting out, this will not apply to you. But if you are more, advanced, you're making at least 10K, 20K, 30K a month, this will definitely apply to you. In terms of team and systems. Team and systems is how you actually build an asset, or not just selling your time for money, but an asset that works, without you. So whether I'm actually working, active, I'm doing some work today, I'm creating some content, or if I'm off, I'm spending time with my family now. My business can still grow, can still make money without me, because I've built systems, I've built team that can actually fulfill and run the business for me, but that require me 24/7. It's a very powerful thing. And so that's the third thing here. If you're low on time, like you'll see so many entrepreneurs who actually grow and grow and grow, they're not doing everything themselves. All right. They're doing the decision making, their team is running everything, they're doing the daily tasks, all right, they're executing. All right, that's what it is at a high level, is you're just really making decisions, you're the strategic visionary, and your team is running the business for you. That's really what it looks like at a high level. All right, so that's what you want to get to long term. So these are the three big things: growing an online coaching business as a dad, or as someone who's has a job on the side trying to grow this. Anyone who's time constrained, like these are the three things you need to implement. If you do this correctly, you will be able to grow your business. You're going to stand out from everyone else. First of all, because number one, you don't have the lazy victim mindset. You actually accept, hey, this is gonna be hard, but I'm all in. I want the financial freedom. I want the freedom for my family, so I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to accept this hard and just do the work required. Number two, you're going to be constraint focused. All right, so you're going to, with your limited time, you're going to put your time into the biggest bang for buck things you can, so you actually move the needle with the little time that you do have. All right, number three, of course, long term, you're going to start to grow team and systems. All right, that way the business is not relying on you. You're not just selling your time for money. You actually have an asset that's working for you. All right, so implement these three things. It will absolutely transform your business and your life overall. If you want to look at working with me one-on-one to actually grow your business, and you want me to just give you all of our lead gen, all of our sales, client acquisition systems to you, so you can really plug that in, start making progress right away, click the link below. We have some information on what the offer looks like and what working with me one-on-one, what it would look like. So click that link below if you're an online coach and you are interested, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.